Once upon a time, in heaven lived Devraj Indra with his fellow gods and goddesses. Heaven was full of peace and prosperity, and many holy ceremonies used to be conducted to maintain same in the world. One day, when Dagini Devi, the mother of King Indra, was getting things ready for the worship of Lord Shiva in the month of Bhadra, she realized she did not have a special flower named Parijat. Since the holy ceremony could not be conducted without the flower, Dagini Devi asked her son Indra to descend down to the earth to fetch the flower. Indra then set off for earth disguised as a normal human on his divine ride Pulukisi, a small white elephant. When Indra reached earth, he halted the Pulukisi at a safe place and then started his search for Parijat. After roaming hours on foot inside Kathmandu valley, he finally found a bunch of Parijat growing inside a meadow. Indra impatiently went to fetch the flower, but as he was inspecting the flower, the owner of meadow saw him and mistook him for a thief. The owner called upon his neighbors and captured Indra. He was bound by a tantric spell and imprisoned in Marutol of Kathmandu. Meanwhile, Pulukisi was worried and tired of waiting for his master, so he set off in search for Indra. Pulukisi was a divine animal and was unique, so some local inhabitants saw him and captured him out of curiosity. He was kept inside a cage in Kilagal, which was named as Kisi Gully after the capture of Pulukisi. When Dagini Devi found that her son did not show up with the flower he was supposed to bring, she herself came down to the earth in search of her son Indra. While on earth, Dagini Devi found that her son was caught in the tantric wave. She confessed that her son was the king of God, Indra himself. But the inhabitants of Kathmandu, who were still furious, were determined to punish the culprit. After a tough negotiation, she ultimately succeeded to free her son from the spell. People of Kathmandu made her promise to do two things. Firstly, to take those who have died in the last year back to heaven, and secondly, to spread enough dew throughout the winter to ensure a good harvest. This news of capture and the mishaps spread throughout the Kathmandu valley, and Pulukisi was also eventually freed. Family members of deceased people followed Dagini Devi's footprint in the hope to go to heaven and find the soul of their deceased loved ones. All of them reached Indradaha, where they took a holy dip in the preparation for their journey to heaven. Since then, people in Newar community carry a baumata, a long bamboo fixed with series of clay dishes with wick lamps on them, to light the way for Dagini Devi and followers on their way to heaven, while on the way to Indradaha, located nearby Jamacho. People in Kilagal also paint a white elephant on a mat to represent Pulukisi with two men in it, and go around the town dancing under the music of a single bell. The statue of Indra is still worshipped in Marutol in Kathmandu. The outstretched hand of Indra displayed at Marutol during the Indra Jatra festival indicate that Indra has surrendered himself to the inhabitants of Kathmandu and symbolically has conveyed the message that even Indra could not escape from punishment when he did something wrong.